right here I have this blue wall, and that means you can walk on it. I mean, you can make the wall look like anything, but when I go onto the wall, it does have some glitches. Yes, it does. But if I can get it like timed just right or something, you could actually walk on top of the wall. Okay, this is way too slippery. And then when you get off the wall, you can get off the wall. Now, if I unleash from preview mode, this is everything that it needs, and it is extremely simple. This is absolutely everything. If you can only paste this on here and then dephysicalize it, then that is absolutely everything you need to create a wall. Just a bunch of player sensors at the center of the wall, an OR gate, and a camera. So the camera actually makes it look like you're not standing. The wall isn't actually the floor. It makes it look like the wall is still the wall. And this wobble bolt is supposed to make the wall, is supposed to turn so that way the new floor is now the wall, and also so your player doesn't, so it doesn't seem like, oh well, you just turned it. I connected it to a camera which connected this entire thing and made it look like this thing. So when I go onto the wall, it spins, and then this happens. If I pause it, you can see that the wall is just doing that, and I even got a zone thing. Now this is the actual floor on the bottom, and yeah, this is the actual floor. And what it does is it turns, the wobble bolt turns, so that way the wall is now the new floor, and what the camera does is when it activates its zone, which is pretty much around the whole place. It makes it look like it's actually turned, so it looks like this, and it looks like you're actually standing on top of the wall. And I guess that's why it has a little bit of glitches. I gotta fix this thing. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna fix this because I keep slipping on it. I think there's a slipperiness thing on here. Wait a minute, there isn't. What the heck? I should probably use a different material for that. A material that is not that thing. Dark matter, dissolve, hologram, light matter, pitch floaty, blah 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 blah. Pixelated blue. This thing is. Anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna turn this into graph paper, so now you can actually walk on it. And then when you go onto the actual wall, something like that happens. But yeah, so basically that's pretty much the whole thing, except now I have to show you how to build it. So in order to build this, you have to go like far away from everything because it's gonna turn. So first let's say you want to build a nice big structure and it's static and stuff. Well, you can't make it dynamic. You have to make it static. And in order to make it static, you have to switch it to dynamic, because the wobble bolt is going to hold it in place so it looks static. Then you can get your square or anything, or of any material. I like that cardboard. I like a different type of cardboard. What the heck? gone. Oh, there it is. And then I can place the cardboard here, and then I'm gonna make a super high ledge that no player knows how to get up. Whoa, what the heck? Oh, the ledge fell. Well, what you have to do here is you have to grab any material you want, because it's not gonna be visible. Make it static, and then put it in, like, let's say the middle of the wall. Go a layer behind and make it shape like a diamond or something like that, like a 45-degree square. Then place it, and now that you have your square there, I'm going to look at the side, because you can use the right stick while you're hovering to look at the side. And then what you want to do is you want to place a wobble bolt. Now, as soon as you place it, which I have it paused, so it pretty much not as soon as, but like try to find the center. That's it right here. And as soon as you place it, it start doing these weird movements. Now, what you want to do is when it's at its back state, where you can see it, you want to flip the square, which will flip the entire contraption. And you want to flip it so that way when it's on its right side, it'll actually, like, be on the wall. And now this is front, start, wall, floor is floor, floor is wall. So when it says so then what you gotta do is, let's pause it real quick so we can actually see it. We don't have to pause it yet. About that. And yeah, you can set the time to 1 second, so it does this weird thing. Or actually, let me do like this. Let me put it back. Okay, I don't know what just happened. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm just gonna turn this thing back into a triangle. So now I should do something like this. No, let's pause it so we can work on it. And what we want to do with the bolts is we don't want to make it visible to the player. So that way when we're like this, it's just spinning like that. So try to get it lined up or something. Like I'm going to turn the pause on. And you can pause that. You can pause the actual game. And then what you want to do is you want to get out a player sensor, so that way you can sense the player whenever he is right around the wall. So I haven't actually used the state sensor basically in my life yet. Yeah, let's just use the player sensor. Or actually, you know what's better is the impact sensor, but the player sensor is actually better. Sorry to confuse you. And and then set it to range about like 10. So that way you can sense when the player is actually really close to the wall. Set the layer range to 0, so it's only at the wall. And then that's it for the player sensor. Now just copy the player sensor all over the wall and count as you go. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 player sensors, and actually 14 player sensors seems like a great number for me. Now, with that number in mind, which is 14 for me right now, get an OR gate out and place it down anywhere. Then put the number of player sensors on the number of ports in the OR gate, and then connect all the player sensors to all the ports in the OR gate. So that way, when the player's like doing anything, when the player's anywhere on the wall, we want to produce an output. So this might take quite a while. So that's because I built such a big structure. Now if you want, you can make the structure a little bit thicker and then put the player sensors a little bit farther from the structure and increase the range so that way you can put them farther from each other. Then, yeah, so we can put them farther from each other. Oops. We can hide stuff too. Almost forgot. So you don't have to put them closer to each other, and then you can have less ports if you make the walls thicker. So I just did it right at the front because I wanted to show you the way to get them closest to the wall as possible. Because if you actually get them really far, it can probably create huge bumps. But yeah, if you get them closer, I actually do get it. Anyway, so I am done putting all the inputs in, and now it makes this cool graph thing. I once actually did this in drawing. It makes this actually super cool graph thing. Anyway, what you want to do next is you want to get up anything, place it absolutely anywhere you want. Except, yeah, anywhere. Absolutely anywhere except inside of structures. Because that's actually not really a place to put them. So like I'm gonna put it right here. Then keep it paused, or else this thing, the wobble, is gonna hit it. Or actually, we can test it right now, but maybe a little later. Anyway, yeah. So place your little structure, and then what you want to do is you want to go into your tools bag, go to the very left section, tools, and grab a game camera and place it on that small thing, because you don't want it to move at all. So then what you want to do is you want to put the zone like anywhere that's with the wall, that has the wall inside of it, just like that. And then get the angle and zoom. So what you want to do is basically anything. So you could probably just leave it, or you can leave player tracking to ultimate, and then put local space on. So let's actually take this away from our structure here. And actually when we come down, you can see it does that weird thing, or something. So then what you want to do is with local space on, you want to tilt the structure the camera's on. You want to tilt it 90 degrees, just like this. And now, since it knows the camera's sideways, it'll like make you appear that you're on the wall. But we don't want to use that always. So what you want to do is you want to take this part from your OR gate and you want to connect it to the camera. So that way the camera only turns on when that happens. You then want to go into your motor bolt and then put the input action to forwards backwards, and you could turn it reversed and turn it reverse too. Then get another output of the OR gate and connect it into the wobble bolt, and it should be just like this, normal. And that's basically it. It's just such a big structure. So what I would do if it's such a big structure is probably make the process a little slower. Probably be a little hard. So yeah, you can maybe turn the pause a little bit up. But as you can see, the zone is now messed up. You look like you're on the floor. So what you want to do is you want to... I'll get off the wall, or the floor. And then you want to make your zone so it's good. And then what you're going to do is, as you can see, you are now on the wall, and yeah. So, and it's actually activating the inputs, which actually activates different parts of the graphs, which actually looks pretty cool. And that is how to walk on walls in LittleBigPlanet 3. So, if you jump off like this, you could probably walk on walls if you get pretty close. So, maybe make the process a little slower if you need to. Maybe make it faster if you need to. But I suggest mostly 1 second for the process to happen. Oops. Sometimes that happens when you fly. But yeah, if you approach from the top surface, it actually works. So what you want to do with this is, since your players might bump into it or something, you want to dephysicalize it and make it invisible with the opacity tweaker. Like this. And then boom, you have your invisible wall. I mean, not your invisible wall. Your ability to walk on walls. It might be weird when you jump, but it's awesome. You can walk on walls now. I'll actually suggest making it 2 seconds. Oops. 1.1 seconds, 2 seconds. It keeps making me fall onto, like, the darkness or something. So yeah, it should be completely silent once you enter play mode. And this actually looks really cool. It actually looks like I'm walking on a wall. So yeah, that's how you can walk on walls in LittleBigPlanet 3. Also, you might want to dephysicalize this and make it invisible too, because it might start bothering your player when he jumps down, and you don't want to do like that one option, so that way you ruin your whole world just for this wall. So I'm gonna dephysicalize it, and then boom. Now I have my walk on walls thing. So it might have a little bit of errors, but it's actually super cool. And if I go and grab the entrance and bring it up the wall, it's like everything walks on the wall when you do that. So then what you might want to do, like you can do this a little bit later, but what you might want to do is you might want to change the way your wall looks in order to know that you can walk on the wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use slice and dice so everything doesn't look like you can walk on wall. And this corner. And then now you have that wall piece. You can then go to material changer since the walls are glued together now, and I can make it I can make it anything I want it to look like. So maybe corrugated plastic, I'm not sure, but you can choose anything as long as it's probably not so slippery like how we use the portal. It could probably look like this, or it could look like a portal thing that you can actually walk on. Because yeah, sometimes it's like weird. That looks weird. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, I guess slicing and I guess doing that. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to change the color. I'm probably going to use a material tweaker or something else to make it walkable. How about this thing? Because I don't think I ever saw slipperiness anywhere here. We got grabbability. And yeah, you could also make it grabbable so the players can grab onto the wall, and then when they grab onto the wall, yeah. So like when they grab onto the wall, it happens, and then it continues. So I'm not sure, like that'll be pretty long to re-edit everything. But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna make this grabbable. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn on those notifications, because right now I'm going to test this in actual play mode and see how it looks. So I actually use that same technique for my base and the huge robot, which will be in the next video. And here we are. Now that I've got a way to grab onto it, I can now go up. And yeah, I am actually walking on a freaking wall. So Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah. Good